Sounds good. Hey, 1 2 1 2 2 2. Maybe some more vocal, please, sir.
Hi, is this too close right here?
Yeah, you guys should like cuddle a little bit.
What's your name again? Hey y'all, it's Brian White. You're watching Real Sportsman on, I forgot what it was.
This isn't your typical outdoor show. It's not about how great one outdoorsman is. You won't find any of these guys hanging over food plots or obsessing over the size of a rack. What you will see is the heart of a certain group bringing you real stories about real people. We call them real sportsmen. Real Sportsman is brought to you by CW Wraps, Precision Powder and Blast, and Line Light.
It's the start of 4th of July weekend. I get contacted by a really good friend of mine, Susie, and she asked me if I'd like to come along for a dinner boat cruise and concert with none other than country music artist Brian White. I sat down with Brian to discuss being a sportsman in his home state of Tennessee. Brian White.
How are you?
How are you, bud?
I'm good. I'm well, better than I deserve.
Is this your first time in Coeur d'Alene?
No, I've been to Coeur d'Alene many times. This is the first time I've played here at the resort. So I had no idea. I mean, I'd seen this place from the road and I've been near it, but never been at it. So this is I'm really thrilled to be here. Well, I'll tell you just a little bit of backstory. I grew up in Oklahoma City, and I'm an outdoorsman. I give all the credit to my dad. I would not be an outdoorsman if it weren't for my dad taking my brother and I fishing so much when we were kids. So I was a fisherman, a pretty hardcore fisherman, about the first half of my life. And then my brother called me one day and he said, hey, I know you don't really hunt much, but what does this sound like to you? And he said, it's a guy that has a show and he wants to fly us down to West Texas to do a turkey hunt. And I was into it. I didn't know much about it. So we went down there and we both were able to harvest our first turkey on the same day, my brother and I. And I'm not kidding, it was like a light went off in my spirit, and I just went, I can't believe I've been missing out on this for the past 30 years. And so I'd say for the last 12, 13 years, I've become a full spectrum outdoorsman. I love hunting and I love everything about it. Look, this is an experience that most people would say you do this once and you learn after that, but it took me 2 times to learn. I was in Wyoming on a VIP turkey hunt with the president of Cabela's and Bass Pro and all these. I was the only music guy at camp, and I went out with my guide to go shoot his shotgun just to shoot at a target a little bit before we went out the next morning. And his 12 gauge had a scope on it, and I just got a little too close to that scope. And when I was aiming at the target, and it was like I got kicked in the head by a mule. I mean, it came back and hit me so hard in the head, it split my head wide open right over my right eye. And I was just almost like, and then, you know, when you see blood, you're like, you kind of get lightheaded. And so they took me to Sundance, and I had to get 17 stitches in my head right here. And, but here's the redemption of it. Everybody was poking fun at me when I got back to camp. They all deemed my new nickname was Scope. They all called me Scope. And so I had to redeem myself. So I went out with my guide that next morning, and I got a turkey, despite the hole in my head.
You know, growing up, we all are raised and taught to hunt by somebody, usually who is a family member, a dad or a grandfather. But I was very fortunate enough not only to have my father teach me how to hunt, but to have an uncle who was involved as well. He was the first person who ever brought me out on this lake and taught me how to fish out here, and he'd always been bugging me to come back out onto the lake because it had been 10 years since he'd actually been out there. Now for my uncle, he had a boat that was out there religiously. Every weekend he'd be out there fishing. But like most of us, we've all got somebody who we've hunted with or fished with, and that was who our hunting partner is. We did this every year. This was a ritual that we all do. And for my uncle, things kind of changed when his hunting partner ended up becoming sick. And
got the boat around 1985. And Johnny had his boat, the mail boat on Capondere Lake, and we would go out. I'd go out and fish, and he'd do his route, and then he'd stop and come by and get me, and we'd go fishing together. And we'd fish in my boat, and he'd fish in his boat. Did a lot of hunting together. And then he got cancer one day and didn't do anything about it. He thought he had issues with his back, and it was his prostate. And that was it. He let it go too far and killed him. So I stopped basically going up to Ponderay because I didn't have my partner anymore.
when we were out filming the whole first season of Real Sportsman, my uncle kept asking me, he's like, you know, if you just got a spot, I only want to go just one more time. I just want to feel the real singing just one more time. That's all I want to do. And so I talked to the guys and I told them, I said, hey, when we get done, if we actually get successful with our Iraqi friends, you know, do you think that on Sunday we can take him out and see if we can't get him a fish? So when I told Steven and Jim the story, they immediately were like, yeah, let's get this done. Let's do this. Let's try to focus on getting these guys fish, get their episode wrapped up so we can get him out there, because it's a prime opportunity right now with the water temperature being as cold as it is and those fish being up on top. So my aunt told me that my uncle had been sitting in that bay almost like a kid waiting for that phone call to hear whether or not he was going to go. And so when we finished up with Amir and Bashir, I was really fortunate and happy to be able to go ahead and make that phone call. Throughout the years,
on that lake, my uncle has gone by the handle of bald eagle. The funny part, of course, is because of his hair. But the irony of that whole thing is, as we go down one of the favorite stretches that he has along that lake, we get bombarded with a number of bald eagles. Little did we know, we actually had a smaller fish that we'd been dragging, and that's what they had in mind.
Nice and easy. Alright.
How's that drag feel? Feel good.
Yeah.
Maybe just
Pull him and tug.
yeah. Yeah, maybe I should tighten it up a little bit. There you go.
Uh-oh. He's still there. He is. He's running to you. Real. Yeah, he's there. Yeah, he was coming to us. He's working him. There you go. Bring him up. Nice and easy. How much line we got out?
200.
Nice and easy.
How we looking, fellas? What did he say?
Far so good.
You haven't caught nothing. Oh, that's a good one.
Nice and easy.
Want me to slow her down a little more? I think you're good. That's like hearing the reel scream, like, what are you doing back there, Steve? And looking, oh, fish on! Yeah, it's on that white red, I think. No, it's not. I don't, it's the second fly out. Maybe it's a squaw fly. That's the third one. Oh, is it the third one? Yeah, that's, is that the gaff hook? I hope it is. Oh, I hope so. I've been dying to catch a fish on that thing. Take my whole slide thing back. Yeah, I do good right here. That's a good fish. Yeah. I'm gonna slow her down a bit more.
Now, for my uncle, he kind of had a life-changing event that had occurred one night that he went out to go watch a comet. It was a frosty night. He stepped out onto the porch. There's a lower wooden deck, and he ended up slipping and hit his head on the back of the concrete. Little did he know that he actually had quite a head injury and put it off for a few days until he ended up having to be rushed to the hospital, where they ended up drilling a few holes and trying to alleviate the blood that was in his head from the contusion. This had an adverse effect on him because of the fact that it kind of affected his memory a little bit. So some things are easier to remember than others. And it's a lot easier to get turned around when you're out hunting and fishing. So.
I got her. Give you some room. Coming in kind of deep.
Yeah. He's slowly
It's a big
coming
fish.
In. Slowly coming in.
The hell of a
Oh yeah, I know he's heavy.
Yeah. He ain't done yet.
No.
$10.30. You called it. And the spot too, I'm gonna say. Been a long time since you had this kind of fight, huh?
Yeah. This is nice.
Back a lot of memories, I'm sure.
Yes, it does.
Gonna be in the market for a boat here shortly.
She never sold mine.
That's great. That's a
He's got
one.
good head shakes.
Yeah, no, it's a
Yeah.
good fish. When he's coming in deep too. I mean, he's holding his own. Get us back in the middle here. Well, you can definitely tell you've reeled in fish before, because half the guys we have they don't really know how to do it. You're doing a great job.
Line light.
You got 83 left.
Still a ways
Oh, yeah.
down. He's deep.
He sounded. Probably a male.
I got a feeling
Usually
he's
them
gonna-
hens, they'll jump up on the tree.
Yeah.
Hurry up and counterweight.
Still at 66.
Okay.
It's a heavy fish.
Once he sees the boat, okay, we're at 45.
Okay. You're good.
The boat coming? Yeah, I did.
He's coming up.
That's right.
I don't see him showing
Fighting all
it.
the way to the boat.
Huh?
He's fighting all the way to the boat. Good fish.
Looking for a reflection.
Keep going. Keep going. Go, go, go. Oh, now he's gonna run.
Oh, that's a nice one.
Oh, that's a male.
Big male.
Big male.
That's a nice fish.
That's a nice fish.
Oh yeah.
That's a dandy.
Here he comes. Oh yeah. Oh, look at the color on that fish.
You you okay? Sorry. Come on, big feller. No, you don't.
No,
Yeah,
you're doing good.
Just
You're
play
doing
it.
good.
He'll get tired here.
He'll get tired. Oh, wow. Oh, right there. Right there he is. There he is.
Wow. He didn't miss weight a little bit. Got him. Oh, that's a heavy fish,
Oh,
guys.
boy. Howdy.
Oh, that's a damn.
That is
That's a hog,
nice
fellas.
fish.
That is a hog.
20, man.
That's a keeper right
What do
there.
you think?
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, that's a dandy.
Mission accomplished.
Yes.
Yeah.
Beauty. Red white again, Steve.
That's a 20 fish. That's gotta be.
Yeah.
close to 20.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get this.
It ain't over.
Grab the
Shut that door so we don't flop it.
Oh, yeah. Okay, hold on.
Kinda
What'd
worried.
you think? Hey, what'd you think?
I thought it was very good. I enjoyed the hell out of it.
Okay. I'm gonna. Steve's working the fish. No, he's starting to pump his jaws and stuff.
I really missed Ponderay. I missed fishing, catching the big fish, and I wanted to get at least another shot at a big one. And we did. We got a nice one.
It's hard to talk about the very end of your life. It's hard to talk about what really matters.
For more information, log on to RealSportsmanTV.com.